a the box Kazuya menace, who has already claimed 1 bounty here, mini-boss.
Yes, sir. I'm remiss to remember who it was exactly.
It was Haven.
Haven, that's a big one to take out. So the odds have been the odds have been stacked up in his favor to take out Yoshi-O potentially here, as another bounty matchup, back-to-back bounties could potentially. This one might actually be claimed here as we go to small battlefield, and already, like you said, commanding that top area, that box zone of Kazuya, and already just down tilt dashing. Look at that. He's moving like a fiend, like the name of the game on the box is a different one entirely. This is Tekken 7, baby. And
command dashing is something that gets a lot easier on the box, especially to the point where Ziggler is really starting to experiment with not only command dashing forward, but also the utility of command dash backward, which is a super specific input on GameCube controller, much easier on the box.
Oh,
and hey, you get to retreat invincibly? That sounds pretty broken, and that's because it is. The way that Ziggler plays is very much oriented around that, at the cost of some pretty acknowledgeable habits, though. And he's got to find ways to get around some of these like more linear approach options that Charge Beam just completely blocks off.
Oh, yeah. And right now, Yoshi-O taking command of the stage right now, but like you said, struggling before to utilize those projectiles a whole lot, bobbing and weaving, but still catching with that fair. We talk about bounties. This woman is the bounty hunter. She's trying to shut down the bounty claim.
Actually can
Is Yoshi-O right now, utilizing their character to their fullest, and so far taking the lead. And again, resorting back to neutral, trying to at least get the mind frame of all those projectiles in Samus's arsenal in Glum's head. Trying to move in great out of a precarious situation, use of the up B to keep Glum on his toes and feeding for some safe haven on the ground, but not finding it.
Mini-Boss, have you noticed something that has been a pretty consistent play in Yoshi-O's kit as we see the down smash take the stock?
I would probably guess bombs. It's usually bombs.
Okay, well, yeah, besides like the obvious, like for Yoshi-O specific, like bombs are crazy, bombs are extremely good, but it's been grabbing. That's been an interesting kit in a part as a part of Yoshi-O's defensive style of aggression, where he's playing this mid-range and just saying, hey, if you want to like try and come at me in any means, grab itself covers that extreme mid-range that Kazuya loves to burst through with command dashing. He's not letting him get comfortable with his movement, and an uncomfortable Kazuya often means a dead Kazuya.
True. And again, uncomfortable is just exactly how Glum's feeling. Still, you know, just trying to peg down the maneuverability of Yoshi-O. It's just like serpentining, gliding off the platform, canceling the charge shot as well. Yoshi-O is just, you know, acrobatically moving around this field, and Glum left to pick up pieces. Again, another grab will send Yoshi-O out, but Glum finally fiending for an attack and finally potentially reversing the control situation here, getting the charge of the buff coming in, and this would be a lot easier. No up B to take out potentially. Reset back to neutral. Another interference bomb, just so well utilized, but no! Dropping as you called it out.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. It's like, I get it, right? Like, oh, like electric back air is a true combo, but that's like, those are the type of things you cannot drop. You cannot let like, you're already so far gone. Like, that was a go next kind of game, but with very little to really wind in of like what really went in your favor, except the very, very beginning. What happened in the very, very beginning? Stayed on the ground, rooted, consistent, force Yoshi-O into a position where he wants to jump away, intercept with your intangible up air. Yeah. That's good damage. That's like 16 damage a pop, in disregarding scaling. Playing that grounded game is kind of an antithesis to how Kazuya wants to like play the soap bubble game of like one touch and you're gone.
Yeah, true.
But it's a game you have to commit to because Samus controls space so well with Charge Beam and, as we saw in Plenty, that really long tether grab.
Absolutely. And again, just an insane amount of time for Glum to recollect himself. Obviously not going to consider Luigi's. That would be even worse for him as a secondary. Now, yeah, get that cut off motion there from our
might as well just play better Luigi.
You know, I haven't touched this game 3 years, but I'm a Luigi main. Maybe I should pick up Kazuya off that recommendation. If his name is just Better Luigi, I should definitely consider that.
It's Better Luigi hyphenated Mishima. Look at it.
That's an interesting name. Yeah, very interesting to put on the birth certificate there. But
true, honestly.
And with PS2 being the pick, I mean, Yoshi-O is too familiar with this. Him being a Philly resident, we go here every time. Like it's oxygen. We go to this stage, and right now just seeming all the more at home with this this mid-off, you know, an unknown event, still feeling at home right now, still wanting to be home right now as Kazuya, as again, he's forced off again, another back air, and again, just fiending to get around the bombs and the trap. Yoshi-O is so adept at ledge guarding with those bombs, with those either approach with fair or back air or like even reversing with a charge shot. He's just a wily contender on that ledge, and it's just showing why he still has the stock advantage on glum.
And we get to see the Coyote there too, like just being able to take advantage of the fact that despite Kazuya finding a first hit, and we see another solid combo there from glum, the ability to have an instant escape option on top of all of this zoning, on top of all of this pressure that Yoshi provides. But I do want to shout out the fact that Ziggler has played this set, or this game too, remarkably well. It's just a matter of finding the closing, finding the finisher. A couple of these dragon uppercuts are certainly precarious, but you cannot get too risky at this point. Like, electric is fine enough as a pressure tool, on top of the tsunami kicks as well, to try and de-incentivize projectile tossing. Yoshi-O is looking to just dominate this space, and we're in the corner yet again, mini-boss. This is not it.
Yeah, it's very rare that you hear Kazuya has trouble killing, but yeah, Yoshi-O again playing that mid-range, not giving Kazuya any inkling of that close-up CQC advantage that he gets off, and another back air, just same situation, 3-1. But like you said before, before that stock loss, glum was sitting in a better position, 115 on Yoshi-O. He just has to close that mid-range gap, and again, like you said before, that tether grab proving so precarious for glum to get around, because the threat of it's right there. There's this chance, finally gets the stock claim, and a 2-1 situation could potentially swing out if you go a little more forceful off stage, much like the MPG Mega Man Byleth situation we saw last time. If you don't have the range of tether grab in your back pocket, you could potentially force Samus, who's eons away from the stage, to get a cheeky stock there, and he could potentially even this right back up with the buff on as well. This is even more possible to potentially make it a 1-1.
And I think that's a big key part, right? Like, you have to utilize this Rage Drive not as a super, but as a means of buffing your damage. This 1.1 times boost is not going to be is going to pay dividends, especially right there. You see the upbeat, getting the stage spike, still has Rage Drive online. This is at least a 45% combo if you kept it into the Rage Drive, but still, at 0, you had the opportunity, but the ledge trapping with bombs is just so strong, and Samus, Yoshi-O Samus, proving exactly why Kazuya can be so, like, it can be so difficult in a modern metagame kind of focus.
Yeah.
Because playing the headlong, straightforward type of game plan is really good against players that have to avoid you, but the players that can interrupt you, or the characters that can interrupt you, make things infinitesimally more difficult.
Yeah, just the flood of projectiles just aiding to that. Kazuya could not get in, and even though we saw shades of a comeback happening, it was pretty much set in stone when you heard projectile versus boxing character. Props to Yoshi-O again for advancing on to that winner's side.
Yeah, he played the matchup pristine.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Like, that is how it is supposed to go if you're the Samus. Like, okay, I intercept with charge beam. Like,